Alright guys, so today's video, I want to try something a little bit different again. I want to do a video that's more or less dedicated to why I don't really buy big name earbuds anymore. And really this has kind of gone on for a while. Now I do buy them because usually I want to cover them on the channel and I want to have something to compare all of these other earbuds to. But honestly, I think we really are at a time where it is beneficial to the consumer. I think there's so many options out there, and we're falling into this area where like lesser known brands are offering just as much as the bigger name brands. The problem is most people don't know about these unknown brands because it's just not marketed to them. It's not what they see in stores when they're walking by. It's not really what they see in other people's ears, especially athletes and actors and anybody that's higher profile. That's where you see Beats and Apple and Sony and Bose and all of those bigger name companies. Now, this is not to bash the bigger name companies. I still personally think that there is a lot in what you're buying, but like Sony and Bose, you know you're getting some of the best noise canceling out there. And if you're buying Apple earbuds like the AirPods or even any of the Beats lineups or Samsung's earbuds, what you're paying for really is that integration that it has within their ecosystem. It's just easy to use. It's easy to go from your phone to your tablet to your computer. So I do understand why people buy all of these different brands, but I do feel like some of these smaller companies are offering you just as much and sometimes more for a lot less. So I'm just going to kind of run down some of the products that I actually use and why I think they are a better buy than maybe some of these other ones you might be looking at. And really my go-to earbud. This has been my go-to since I've had them for actually months now. This particular product is not available yet. It's actually available as a Kickstarter. So they're looking to fund this project, which they've more than funded. And that is the Soundpeats Opera 05. Now this pair, for some reason, I don't know if it's just the way that it's tuned, it has 3 drivers. In fact, it has a 12mm dynamic driver mixed with 2 balanced armature drivers. It also has LDAC support, which used to be a codec that was specific to only Sony products. But Soundpeats, for some reason, has just found the code to this and has just slapped it on all of their earbuds lately. But the Opera 05 is a $99 pair of earbuds that, because it's a Kickstarter, you can get it for $79. I do think that they are adding shipping on this, but either way, I think you're going to be under $100, and I just do not see a better sounding earbud in the market. And at that price, it's just insane. I mean, it does have noise canceling, although it's not anything spectacular. But even before this, the pair that I thought had the best sound was the Status Between Pros. Now, if you ask normal everyday people if they've heard of the Status Between Pros or the company Status, most people would have no clue who you're talking about. But that pair you can pick up for about $150. So it is definitely much pricier. But the Status Between Pros were another triple driver earbud. And it's one of the first, I think, that actually did the triple driver system. And again, $150 is still almost half as much as what Sony and Bose are charging for their earbuds. And now another company that's doing things pretty special in the earbud market, now a lot of people are familiar with this company, is Soundcore. Really what makes them special is the fact that they've been able to release high-end earbuds, again competing with Sony and Bose, but at almost half the cost. I mean, the Liberty 3 Pros is one of the most popular earbuds, and it offers just as much as the Sony and Bose. In fact, it even has really good noise canceling at half. In fact, it's actually been on sale quite a bit for under $100. But the Liberty 4, which came out not too long ago, it's another pair that has LDAC support. It has one of the best apps because Soundcore gives you a lot of options within their app. There's tons of different EQ settings. And even on top of that, if you want the Soundcore type experience and don't want to spend the Soundcore money, you could even go with the Donner DoBuds. We checked those out, and I think they are actually not only mimicked with the look, they actually mimic the way that the earbuds are tuned. They have such a very similar EQ curve and openness that the Liberty Pro series has, and that pair is usually hovering at around or under $50. Now, the next company, this one we've talked about recently, is Earfun. Now, the Earfun Air Pro 3 that I've checked out, I did my review on a Thursday. I talked about how I wasn't like a huge fan of the way that they were EQ'd out of the box, and by Friday, there was an update that changed that EQ setting. Now, larger companies are not going to listen to people like me. In fact, they really don't listen to their consumers as much as these smaller companies, because these smaller companies have something to prove. They have to win over the people that are already going to buy AirPods or buy the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds or the Sony XM4s. So the fact that they did that on a pair that right now you can pick up for $59, and again, this is a very feature-rich pair of earbuds. So don't feel like, because you're spending less, you're not getting the same amount of features as some of these other ones. This is the pair that you're getting the same amount of features and more. I mean, you're getting Qi wireless charging, you're getting a gaming mode, it has aptX adaptive playback. In fact, it's using Bluetooth 5.3. It's also using one of the newer Qualcomm chips. So it is excellent with just all kinds of media. The sound is great. I originally said the sound was great once you went in and EQ'd these, but now the sound is great just out of the box once you update them. Speaking of that, being able to update these and have that app support in a $59 pair of earbuds, it's harder and harder to recommend pairs like the AirPod Pros, even though it's an excellent pair of earbuds. But the fact that you can get like 3 or 4 pairs of the Earfun Air Pro 3s just makes it hard to recommend that. Now, some people are going to say that they want that peace of mind that when they buy a product, it's going to last a long time. There's just no guarantee that a pair of AirPods is going to last you a long time. But think about this. If you buy a $60 pair of earbuds and it breaks within a year, you could buy another pair of that $60 pair of earbuds. Now you're in at $120 and you're still at half what you would have paid for a pair of AirPod Pro 2s. And I think companies like Sony are also seeing that they need to have more inexpensive options out there, because the XM4s, as excellent as they are, they're out of a lot of people's price range. So Sony made the LinkBuds S, which again, I kind of feel like they are identical to the XM4s, but in a cheaper price range. Plus they come with the silicone ear tips instead of the foam ear tips. But again, Sony knows that they have to give people options because there's so much competition that is in a lower price bracket. Now, the last couple of ones that I wanted to mention is the Tribit Flybud C1 Pros. They have definitely come down in price. They're actually on sale right now, so I think you can get them for about $70 if I'm not mistaken. They have great noise canceling, excellent sound, and they actually have really impressive battery life in a stem style earbud. So if you're already looking at the AirPod Pros and you want a lot of these features, that's another pair that I would point you in the direction of. And then the last one, and this one I kind of recommended a lot through last year, especially through the second half, and that is the Edifier W240TNs. And Edifier is not a lesser known company, but they're really more known for their speakers. And I think the W240TN was one of the first pairs that they replicated a lot of the sound that I like in Edifier stuff, but crammed into a pair of earbuds. And what made this pair kind of separate itself from some of the other ones is it was using dual dynamic drivers. Now, usually when you see dual drivers, it's a dynamic driver mixed with a balanced armature driver, but they just threw 2 dynamic drivers in each earbud just to try to give you as much of a dynamic sound as they could. And again, this is another pair that right now is $59, and I just think right now in this price bracket of under $100, in fact, we're really floating at about $60 to $70. The competition's pretty incredible. And again, I want to do this video just to make people more aware that you have options. And this, again, is not saying that you made the wrong choice if you went with AirPods or Galaxy Buds or the Sonys. I actually really enjoy the Sonys. Now, I've gotten to lately where I am kind of in Apple's ecosystem. Now, I'm not using the AirPod Pros. I don't find that their sound just kind of matches some of these other ones that I actually prefer. But yeah, it would be easy to jump from the Mac Mini to the iPad to the iPhone, having one of those Apple devices. I understand why you would go with a product that does that. Some people just like to have a brand that they're familiar with, and I can understand that too. And some people are only aware of certain brands because that's all they see. So I definitely understand. Again, this is not saying that any of that is wrong. Just understand that you have options. I'm rooting for the smaller guys because they're doing some pretty incredible things. Again, Soundpeats with the LDAC support on all of these earbuds. I've been hooked on the Opera 05, which I'll link all of these earbuds that I'm talking about in the description if you want to check them out. Go back and check out the original videos if you just want to see more info and what it is these earbuds actually do have to offer. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.